Hello aspirants, this is me Yasmin Gill presenting to you the PIB highlights of 25th of January. So do follow all these videos on this particular link, plus you can also rate and review the videos. So let's begin. Firstly, we have under society related issues a small topic, that is Padma Awards. So Padma Awards, as we know, famously they are classified into three categories. The highest one being Padma Vibhushan, which is awarded for exceptional and distinguished service. Then on we have Padma Bhushan, which is for distinguished service of high order. Then we have Padma Shri, which is for distinguished service in any field. Other than that, these awards are announced every year on Republic Day. Please keep it in mind that they are announced on Republic Day, but they are given by President not during Republic Day, but usually around March or April every year, and these are given at Rashtrapati Bhavan. So announced on Republic Day, but given later on by President. Next, Jeevan Raksha Padak. So Jeevan Raksha Padak is basically an award that is to save somebody else's life. So as evident from the name itself, Jeevan Raksha, so life's protection. So this award can also be given to someone who has died, so it can be conferred posthumously as well, and it is given again in three categories. Which are these mentioned categories? You can go through them. And lastly, this award is presented by the respective state governments to which that particular awardee belongs. So that's important for this particular award. Next, we have Republic Day small snippets. So see, this sort of question is not important from UPSC, might be asked in some other say paper and all. So see, SSB, that is Sashastra Seema Bal, that guards our borders with India, Nepal as well as Bhutan. So it is to celebrate Republic Day this very year with at extreme locations or the border outposts. So it will be going in, officers will be going and celebrating the Republic Day with the people who are serving at the borders, Jammu and Kashmir as well as in Naxal affected areas. Not that important from UPSC point of view. Next, random collection, we have an essay competition on water related issues. Why it's important? Because it's conducted by Central Groundwater Board under Ministry of Water Resources to draw awareness regarding water. Because it is conducted by Central Groundwater Board, so accordingly the theme is Groundwater Lifeline of the Nation. Next, we have under political governance election related certain small snippets. So firstly, today is National Voters Day celebration, that's January 25. So why do we celebrate this particular day on January 25? Because it was the foundation day of Election Commission of India in 1950. Also, the theme for this year would be empowering young and future voters, and these celebrations, that is of National Voters Day, have been continued on since 2011. Overall, one other fact is that the turnout of our country, that is the voter turnout, which Election Commission targets to increase, it was in 2014 election 66%. So this you can use in various of your questions in case the question comes, say, pertaining to compulsory voting and all such. So you can use this data there. Other than that, National Award for Best Electoral Practices presented by President. Then we had New Delhi Declaration. This is important. New Delhi Declaration pertains to voter education. It came up in the first ever global conference on voter education. Lastly, we have a book that pertains to Indian elections, and this is published by Election Commission of India and Publication Division, which comes under Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Next, an important topic is that CBI and what is going on it right now. So see, as we know, earlier Supreme Court used to call CBI as a caged parrot. This was particularly after the coal scam issue, when the former director Ranjit Sinha, he was accused of meeting some people who were actually involved in the scam. So this was how the image was tarnished. It was said that these probe agencies, they are being politicized and they are not following the 1995 guidelines of Supreme Court that allowed to keep probe agencies separate from political influences. But these guidelines were not agreed to by probe agencies such as CBI. So in that context, what has Supreme Court done right now? So Supreme Court had given the onus of investigation of the former director of CBI, that is Chief Ranjit Sinha, to the current CBI director, that is Alok Kumar. So this is for the first time that a current CBI director would be probing, and that to a criminal charge against a former CBI director. So this shows that Supreme Court has laid its faith on CBI. So it's a good fact indeed, and it's a chance for CBI to prove its autonomy as well as its worth as well. But simultaneously, Supreme Court has kept the doors open for CVC, that is Central Vigilance Commission, which is to ensure that CBI does a fair probe. But it has also spoken of the fact that a mere change of guard in CBI is enough to lay faith, and there's not much need of CVC as such. But yes, it has laid the doors open. So this is how it's a new chance for CBI to prove itself. Next, we have an international relation, very important topic from Indian Express, that is India and the relations with Gulf. So as you know, for the current Republic Day, we have a chief guest from the Gulf nations. So in that context, what are the relations that India was pursuing with Gulf nations and what are we doing right now. So see, our relationship have progressed in three main phases. So the first phase, it was a very, I would say, a meek sort, not a meek, but rather inactive sort of phase. Why? Because we mainly promoted non-alignment, self-reliance. Other than that, the economic linkages were very weak. We did not enter into many sort of economic linkages. Plus, no military alliances were there, and overall our main focus was to prevent a sort of integration between Pakistan and the Gulf countries based on religion because of the Kashmir issue as well. So it was merely a rhetorical support and no as such India's collaboration with the Gulf nation in that particular phase. So this phase is prior to 1990s, that is prior to economic reforms. So during that time we did not follow any sort of security linkages and neither in any sort of deeper economic links. Then came 1990s. In 1990s and later on, our relation turned more practical or more pragmatic. So we normalized our relationships with Israel, which we did not do it previously. Why? Because previously we were almost anti-Israel. But now we normalized our relationships with Israel, though we did not publicize it that much. Also because in context of the economic reforms as well, our economic interdependence grew. So we were exporting labor, we were importing energy products, etc. Plus even military exchanges began. So there were security programs, security exchanges as well. So this is how our relationship progressed since 1990. If you look at the current order, so see, current regime, firstly with respect to Israel, it has been very, very open. So this is one thing. Other than that, overall in the context of Gulf nation, in the previously concluded Raisina dialogue, Prime Minister has spoken of the fact that we have redefined our partnership with Gulf. We are entering into a lot of strict security related strategic partnerships with Gulf countries, and also we have had a number of visits also at the highest dignitary level. Overall, what are our stakes in those countries? We have security interests, particularly in context of terrorism. We have diaspora, very, very important. Then we have obviously energy security issues. Also, we are coming up with new issues as well, or new areas of collaboration as well. For example, civilian infrastructure, defense production, and so on. In fact, now the Gulf countries are also developing or entering into the space race as well. So in that context, India can help them develop in this particular area as well. That is the space research and all. Overall, if you look at the fact that the region, that is the Gulf region, now wants India to pursue the role which it had pursued traditionally. What is that role? To act as a major economic and security partner. So now it's a big chance for India to come forth and act as a security provider. Now it depends on you whether what are your views, whether we should get involved into West Asian or Gulf related politics and all, and should we actually act as a security provider, and most importantly, can we or do we have the paraphernalia to act as a security provider in that particular region or not. So this is how, and we must do away with bureaucratic inertia and gain the momentum and gain upon the momentum which has been established by this particular regime in context of Gulf nations, because our stakes are a lot in Gulf nations. So in that context, you can answer this particular question. The question asks that the current regime has redefined partnership with Gulf countries, comment, and the second part goes on to ask that analyze how this shift will benefit India. So under economic section, we have TPP, that is Trans-Pacific Partnership, and the corresponding US pullout because of Donald Trump. So this is from recent Indian Express article. So firstly, going through small snippets, TPP, as you know, it was a trade pact signed in 2016 among 12 Pacific Ocean Rim countries, from which US has now withdrawn. So the aim of this particular agreement was, or Trans-Pacific Partnership was, to cut down tariffs on most of the goods and sort of establish a free trading area. The importance lay in the fact that all these 12 countries, they accounted for nearly 40% of the world's trade. If you look at the other benefits, particularly with respect to US, so US, if it had entered into TPP, the American farmers as well as poultry farm workers would have benefited a lot. And overall, if you look at it, the vehicle exports as well, they would have found a good market, particularly in countries such as Vietnam and Malaysia. But now Trump has withdrawn US or pulled out US from this particular Trans-Pacific Partnership. So in that context, if you look at the strategic angle as well, US was benefiting from the strategic angle as well. How? Because it was able to contain China with the help of its pivot to Asia policy, which is also referred to as the economic arm of geostrategics. So overall, what does Trump say? So why does he pull out, if it is so beneficial, so why does he pull out US from TPP? There are various reasons. The first and foremost being the number of jobs that have been outsourced because of the TPP, or which would have been outsourced because of the TPP. So what Trump says is, Trump calls TPP as a job killer because he says with TPP jobs would be moving outside to those countries which offer lower wages and less strict labor laws, thus promoting informal labor, and hence that is a very cheap sort of labor, and usually countries outsource their labor to those particular countries. So also there were stagnant wages for workers who are right now in US. So in that context, he wants to bring back the jobs. And for this, he says that I will not enter into a partnership like TPP, but I'll go for bilateral deals. So how much these bilateral deals are effective and how much will this be different from TPP remains to be seen. As far as India's stakes are concerned, overall, but before going to India's stake, we'll come up with another topic, that is, what are the implications of drawing out from TPP, or I would say dismantling of TPP if that happens? So firstly, it will put at risk US own leadership role that it wished to play in the global economy, particularly with respect to China. Also, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, in order to be ratified, though it was signed, but in order to be ratified, it has to be signed by at least 6 such countries that make up 85% of the economic output. But this, without US, this condition cannot be met, and therefore maybe countries go for collaboration with China as well. So that will result into a TPP -1, and overall US strategic role in economics will be shattered, or will actually come down. And already China is pursuing such various economic initiatives with the help of agreements such as FTAAP, then RCEP as well. As far as India's stakes are concerned, with TPP we were at a sort of loss, but there might be long-term benefits as well. As far as the loss part is concerned, for example, particularly to our garment industry, we would have been challenged by countries such as Vietnam. Also, there was a yarn forward clause, whereby even the yarn to be manufactured, it had to be manufactured in one of the TPP members as well, even the yarn. So in that context, India would have suffered a lot. So in that context, in the short term, it seems that this might be beneficial for India. But if the bilateral deals with US, they come to the same level as the TPP was, then obviously we'll be in a disadvantage, and we'll have to go for various other collaborations such as RCEP, which India has already entered into. Overall, and then that's it for today, and sorry, that's it for the topic. And next topic is a small snippet, which is an MOU has been signed between Power Grid and Abu Dhabi Water and Electricity Authority. Not that important. So friends, that's it for today. In case you find the initiative useful, do not forget to rate and review the same, and also very importantly, please listen to it. Firstly, the yesterday's lecture was updated or uploaded late because of the technical issues in the app, and overall, in the coming days, that is from tomorrow onwards, the lessons might be updated a bit regularly because of certain personal commitments. So I have a function to go on, so there might be certain sort of irregularity in the lesson uploading, so just bear with it. And I would basically suggest you to just go to this lesson, that is for the coming days, only after 31st. So you just check out all these lessons, these 4 or 5 days after 31st. So in that context, you'll not have to wait, and you can actually directly see them after 31st. So thank you so much, friends, and keep rating and reviewing the course. Thank you so much.